All right, guys. So now we're on still on day one, but we're on part two of the radicals, and now we're going to learn how to simplify the square roots of variables. If you remember the exponent properties, we had x times x was equal to x squared. So the square root of x squared is x. Okay. Now, when we simplify with variables, it really becomes as easy as this. When you take the square root of a variable, you just divide the exponent by 2, and if there's 1 left over, it stays inside. So if the square root of x squared was x times the square root of 1, which we all know we can just take away, the square root of x cubed, well, x cubed divided by 2, so 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, so there's a 1 left over. So the square root of x cubed is x times the square root of x. The square root of x to the fourth, well, what's 4 divided by 2? 2. So the square root of x to the fourth is x squared. The square root of x to the fifth, well, what's 5 divided by 2? 2.5 is x squared plus 1 left over. The square root of x to the sixth is x to the third. So all you're doing is dividing the exponents by 2. If there is a remainder, you leave one variable under the radical. So let's apply that to this situation. We're going to put our radical. We have an odd one, so we know we're going to have something left under the radical. But a to the fifth divided by 2 is a squared on the outside, and there is an a left over. B to the 12th divided by 2 is b to the 6th on the outside, and there is not a b left over. Okay? Now, with this one, both of these are even, so you're not going to have anything left over. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Final answer. With this one, there is an odd exponent, so we will have some left over. J to the third divided by 2 is j to the first with a j left over. K to the 8th divided by 2 is k to the 4th with none left over. L to the 18th divided by 2, L to the 9th, none left over. Final answer. This one, we have odd exponents, so we're going to have something here. W squared divided by 2 gives us a w with none left over. 7 divided by 2, x to the third with an x left over. Y to the fifth divided by 2, y squared with a y left over. Z to the 8th divided by 2, z to the 4th. Okay? And so hopefully you guys understand, like I said, math is all pattern based. And the pattern is, if it's an even, divided by 2, and there'll be none left over. If it's an odd, divided by 2, and put the 1 left over in under the radical. So you're going to combine both of the things that you've learned so far into one situation. So I'm going to do the first one with you. The square root of 100, x cubed y. We're going to put the square root of 100 here. The first thing we have to handle is the square root of 100. Either you know that or you don't, and that's fine. But if you don't, we can go back to the calculator method. 100 divided by x squared. Second graph. Looking for a whole number. There it is. 10 times the square root of 1. Now, one of the things I didn't discuss in part 1 was when there's a 1 here, we don't put the 1 under the radical. So I'm just going to put the 10 here, and I'm not going to put a 1 here because the 1 is assumed. Okay? So then I split up and I do the x cubed. Well, 3 divided by 2 is 1 with 1 left over. Y to the first. Can I divide that by 2? No. So it just stays. Go ahead and try these two. Pause the video, and then once you're done, we'll go over the answers. Okay. So I got 10x. I got 10x times square root of xy was the one we did together. For square root of 20, a squared b to the fourth, I got 2ab times the square root of 5. And then for the square root of 45, x squared y to the fifth, z to the eighth, I got 3 xy squared z to the fourth times the square root of 5y. All right, so you're expected to finish problems 17 through 30. And then, of course, you can do the 2 review problems as well. And then once you're done with those, come check with me, and you'll be ready to move on to cube roots.